Just another day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. Let's get into some praise right here. Here's a little old school Mississippi Mass Choir, Having You There. Pastor Haynes up next with the Smiley Morning Show. Oh, man, Mississippi Mass Choir, Having You There. Pastor Haynes, good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. This is nice, man. I love this.
Went all the way back, man. You ain't heard no choir till you heard the Mississippi Mass Choir.
Say it. You better say it.
Yes, sir. I know you got a good word this morning.
Oh, Rick, thank you for this song, because this song lets us know there's nothing like the presence of God. God's presence will make a difference in your life, in your situation. And again, that blesses me, because during this quarantine, some of us have felt isolated and lonely. We feel like we are all by ourselves. But this song lets us know that God's presence, it does make a difference, because God is present. You may be alone, but you don't have to be lonely, because God is present. It lets you know that you have a presence in your life that will give you strength, that will bless you and wrap you in God's arms of love. Having God there, it makes a difference. Ask Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. The Bible says they refused to bow down. They said, we're going to take a knee. We're going to protest this national Babylonian anthem, and we're not going to bow, bend, or burn. And you know what happened? The Bible lets us know Nebuchadnezzar got so ticked off, he threw them in the fire. God convened an angelic council up in glory, according to Jeremiah writing. God said to his angels, who can get down there the quickest? And the archangel Michael said, give me 90 seconds. I'm in the fire. God said, no, that's too long. And then Gabriel said, give me 30 seconds. I'm there. No, that's too long. They said, well, God, what are you going to do? God said, I'll handle this by myself. And they said, well, God, how long will it take you? God said, boom, I'm already there. And God got in the fire with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And when Nebuchadnezzar looked in to see 3 that were dead, instead he saw 4 walking around free in the fire. And they would tell you that having God there made a difference. What kind of difference? It made such a difference that the Bible says God doesn't have to take you out of a bad situation, but God can get in that situation with you and then protect you in the midst of that situation, set you free in that situation. Having God there, it makes all the difference. So go ahead. You may be alone, but you're not lonely, and know that God will get in your situation with you and make all of the difference. Having you there, it made the difference.
There it is, Pastor Haynes. Let everybody, good word this morning, by the way, let everybody know how you can be reached.
Hey, thank you, Rickey Smiley. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at FH Unscripted. I'm on Facebook, Frederick D. Haynes, and I have a YouTube channel, Frederick Haynes, because having God there made the difference.
Absolutely, y'all. The senior pastor of Friendship West Missionary Baptist Church, Dallas, Texas, Pastor Frederick Douglass Haynes. Love you, Pastor Haynes.
Love you, Ricky. Thank you, man.
No, thank you, man. This segment is being brought to you by AARP. That's right, it's Black Music Month. So get up and get down Monday morning with the Black Music Month song of the week, sponsored by AARP. Don't miss it. All right, y'all, I got your front page coming up next. 7 minutes, 8 minutes now. Just needed 8, not 7, 8. 8 minutes after the hour, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Front page up next. All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. This segment is being brought to you by Walgreens. That's right, man. Now, we all know the summer may look different this year, and Walgreens is making it easier for you to find great deals with their new ways to shop. Now, this summer, shop online, in-store, or get select essentials delivered with Postmates. See Walgreens.com for details. Walgreens. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. I'm Eva Marcel here with a look at your front page news. George Floyd's brother, Philonise Floyd, testified yesterday before Congress, urging them to pass the Justice in Policing Act. That law would limit legal protections for police, ban the use of chokeholds, create a national database on incidents of excessive force, and limit the transfer of military equipment to the police. Meanwhile, 3 months after Breonna Taylor was shot by the police and killed during a raid in Louisville, Kentucky, the police incident report has now been released, and it is almost entirely blank and wrong. So according to the report, she had no injuries, which makes no sense because she's dead, and there was no forced entry. Well, we'll be talking to one of the attorneys representing Breonna Taylor's family in the next hour. Now, in other news, Confederate statues are coming down across cities all across the U.S. And last, the number of coronavirus cases in the country has now passed 2 million, as numbers are rising in several states, including California, Florida, and Texas. I know. So keep your hands clean, stay social distancing, and protect yourself, guys. This thing is not over. All right, that was a quick look at your headline news. For more front page news, log on to the Rickey Smiley morningshow.com. Rock T, so what's up with Dallas Cowboy owner Jerry Jones? Someone says Cat got his tongue.
Yeah, man, he tripping, and he needs to, I don't know what he needs to do right now, because if he speaks out about Black Lives Matter now, it's probably going to be fake and not going to be real. But San Francisco 49er Richard Sherman pretty much rips him and calls him out, saying that Jerry Jones, owner of the Dallas Cowboys, his silence on the Black Lives Matter movement speaks big volumes. And I agree with him 100%, man. You know, you're the owner of probably one of the biggest franchise history organizations, and all your players are speaking out, all of your employees are speaking out. You're the only one that hadn't said anything. So everybody's a little bit bothered about that. In the meantime, Washington Redskins coach Ron Rivera says he will support players kneeling for the national anthem, and he will pretty much have no choice, because in my opinion, I think all players will be kneeling this year. CrossFit CEO Greg Glassman resigns and steps down as CEO of CrossFit for the results of his George Floyd comments that he made to his staff during a Zoom call the other day. He pretty much reportedly said he bashed Black Lives Matter, and we're not going to mourn for George Floyd because it's the white thing to do. And
who said that?
He said some other things. This was the CEO of CrossFit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he stepped down. They lost a lot of endorsements. Reebok pulled out. A few other of his endorsements pulled out or whatever. It is what it is, man. Last but not least, though, a little bit of good news. It's official. NASCAR bans all Confederate flags at all race car races. Big ups to African-American race car driver Bubba Wallace for challenging NASCAR to make this happen, man. So a little bit of good news right there in the world of sports. Gary with the T, what you got there, player?
All right, y'all. Former Empire actor Justice Smollett, y'all. Now, he's used this recent protest over the death of unarmed black man George Floyd, y'all, when filing his current paperwork in his lawsuit against the city of Chicago, y'all. Now, Justice is saying, y'all, that he is demanding that the city provide him with more documentation into the firing of Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson last year. Now, Smollett, he made headlines after, y'all, he claimed that he was viciously attacked in Chicago by two white Trump supporters. Now, they're saying, y'all, that he was later charged after the CPD alleged, y'all, that he staged the attack by paying two black men to attack him, pour bleach on him, and then tie a noose around his neck. And they're saying, y'all, this case is just not going to look like it's not going to ever end. And some people say, y'all, this was a good time, y'all, for Justice to go ahead on and put himself on into this here with all the Black Lives Matter situation and saying that these people, allegedly, did this to him. But I don't know. A lot of people say they believe Justice. And I mean, it's been going on and on. But then they pulled these two guys that said that he did do it, paid them to do it. So it's just a confusing situation. Y'all believe that? Do y'all think Justice is innocent? Because he's been, going at this now for a while.
I think he is innocent until proven guilty, and they have yet to prove that man is guilty. And I'm not going to judge him in my court of public opinion.
Agreed.
You agree? Well, we agree, y'all. All right, then we're going to see how this turns out. We just agree. All right, the color today, this is one of my favorite colors. My color today is drab. On the high end, you say drab, and on the low end, you say dirty brown. Honey, that's your color for today. Now, Brad, what's going on with Ice Cube? Now, is he a racist?
Well, Gary, Ice Cube posted a picture on social media yesterday. I'm going to tell you all about it in the hot spot. Coming up next on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show. I'm like, what?
And go ahead now. What you got now?
Yeah, well, three individuals in Little Rock were beaten by a mob but not seriously injured after they were caught looting a 99-cent store. Now, apparently there was no racial motivation behind the beating, but the residents who perpetrated the assault say the only reason they did it was because anybody looting a 99-cent store deserved an ass whooping. So, yeah, I would agree with that.
Right.
It was all black on black. Like y'all really couldn't find them better than 99-cent store. In other protest-related news, two 21-year-old girls in Montgomery, Alabama, were treated Monday and released at a local hospital for injuries they suffered during a protest. Now they didn't weren't beaten or anything. Apparently, a strong gust of wind kicked up and caught their eyelashes, lifting them up off the ground, and they landed about 30 yards down the street, where they suffered multiple cuts and bruises. So,
well, we saw the wind start blowing and their eyelashes and lifting them
it
up.
caught them big ass eyelashes and lifted them up. And they said they traveled about 30 yards approximately.
Shout out to Montgomery, South Dallas, Mobile, and Decatur, and Bankhead. I swear. And let me not forget Liberty City.
Eyelashes look like eagle wings.
Little Rock, Arkansas, Louisville, Kentucky with them lashes.
Boy, lashes be 6 feet off of their face. And finally,
they be flat ironing them.
Oh, strip.
You leave our lashes alone.
So
hey, Eva, how about this one? Strip clubs in Atlanta have opened back up for nearly 2 weeks now. And however, there's a requirement that all strippers wear face masks for safety. Now, the Department of Labor is reporting that this move has actually helped decrease the unemployment rate among black women in the city by nearly 38%, because now ugly chicks with raggedy teeth can be strippers too.
Yeah, that's right.
If you still ugly, boy, if you still ugly from the eyes up, whew.
But you got a bad body, you can work.
Yeah, if you got a nice body, you can work. So they say the unemployment rate has actually dropped significantly because, pretty much anybody can look good from the nose up.
Right.
There you go. So, shout out to ugly black chicks.
She got missing teeth and some lashes and get paid, right?
Yeah. You could be missing them side teeth on both sides. Ain't nobody.
Them side teeth do come out
fangs.
when you get to your late 30s.
You ain't got no dental insurance.
That one right behind the K down there.
Yeah, I'm back.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley the Morning Show. Hey, it is the top of the hour, y'all. A lot of stuff going on, man. Listen, we were talking about the Breonna Taylor case on yesterday. Now, it's been 3 months since Louisville police fatally shot Breonna Taylor in her own apartment. Now, just yesterday, the Louisville Metro Police Department finally decided to release the incident report, right? Now, never mind the fact that it took this long to be released. The report is mostly blank, and it is just all wrong. On the phone this morning, we got one of the lawyers representing Breonna Taylor's family. Please help welcome attorney Lanita Baker to the show. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Break down everything that's gone, that is wrong with this bogus police report.
Well, there's several things wrong with it, and it just continues to show the incompetence of the Louisville Metro Police in handling the investigation into the murder of Breonna Taylor. First thing you see is that, for forced entry, it says no. Well, we know that they bust down the door with a battering ram. And then, we know Breonna Taylor was shot 8 times, and it says no injuries.
What?
Yeah, no, absolutely no injuries. Unlike she was shot 8 times and she died. But and what this virtually blank incident report, what it shows me is that from the beginning, Louisville Metro Police Department has treated this as an open and shut case. It's not until, attention was given to this case and that, people around the world started paying attention that they decided to do anything. And really, it's still not enough, and it's almost too late. But, we're going to continue to press forward. The FBI is now investigating. And I say they thought it was an open and shut case because...
That's what I was about to ask you. Why haven't the officers? So it all started because of the no knock warrant the police had prior to entering the completely wrong apartment and the killing of Breonna Taylor in the process. And I'm just curious why nobody's been charged for that. And when the man that they was looking for was already in jail.
Yeah. So the person they were looking for was already in jail. What we learned since the search warrant was released is that it contained lies, and the only thing that tied Breonna's apartment to the larger investigation of this unit is information that the officer said came from the postal inspector. The postal inspector said, no way, we did not give them the information. In fact, we gave them just the opposite. We said nothing suspicious was going to that apartment. And so just yesterday, so that information, the postal inspector information came out last month, and it was not until yesterday that the officer that swore out the report was placed on administrative reassignment. Again, too little, too late. He should not be placed on administrative reassignment. He should be terminated. That's perjury at a minimum. He presented this to a judge.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, what can the public do to help ensure that justice is served?
At this time, is to continue to put pressure on, the police chief to terminate these officers. The prosecution is in the hands of the Kentucky Attorney General, Daniel Cameron's office. Continue to press his office. These officers need to be charged. Today we have a vote with Metro Council. We're doing a push to ban all no-knock warrants. They have no business in investigations, so that people like Breonna, so that this doesn't happen to anyone else. Breonna Taylor did not deserve to die in her home in the manner in which she did.
Right. Can these officers be charged? What law? I know, I'm sure it's going to be a civil lawsuit, but can these officers be charged? This man go to jail because if he committed perjury and lied about the postal inspector, can they be charged?
At a minimum, we know we have the perjury because he did lie on the search warrant. The postal inspector has come out and confirmed that, he did not say that. So you do have perjury on the officer that swore out the warrant. Lying on that police report ultimately led to the death of Breonna Taylor. What you also have is that the officers that entered into the home of Miss Taylor that night, they've continued to lie throughout the investigation, saying that they've announced themselves. We have 12 neighbors who say no, they did not announce themselves, including Kenny Walker, who I know you had on yesterday for his birthday. He said, that they did not announce themselves, so he didn't know who was coming into the door. They recklessly fired into Breonna's apartment. They could not see where they were firing. They were firing into blinds. Not only did bullets go into Breonna's apartment, they also went into neighboring apartments. So you have an apartment with a 5-year-old child that was asleep that had bullets in it, and you had an apartment upstairs from Breonna. So they put too many civilians at risk with their reckless shooting.
Right, and so not only can the police not be charged, police now, at least as far as the law goes, can just go to anybody's apartment or whatever and lie and just kick the door down and shoot and kill everybody in there, and nothing can be done about it.
That's what we're trying to change.
The law that's on the books, pretty much.
No, the law that's on the book does not allow them to do that. It's just that until the FBI was involved, the only people investigating themselves was their own department, and we've seen from the incident report they released yesterday, from the grand jury presentation against Mr. Walker, that they've done a piss poor job of that.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Attorney Lanita Baker, one of the lawyers representing the Breonna Taylor family, thank you so much. We're going to be talking to you again because, I'm real upset about this right here. I didn't even want to do the interview because I get too mad and take that baby's life like that, 27 years old, and was in the bed sleeping. I just can't imagine the horror and the terror that both of them felt. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us this morning, and please keep us up to date on this, and thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and one more time, who do people need to call? Who do they need to call to put pressure on the Attorney General's office, or whoever they need to put pressure on to try to get some justice for this case?
So the Attorney General's office would be responsible for charging the officers. That's Daniel Cameron, Kentucky Attorney General, and then the Louisville Metro Police Chief, Schroeder, for terminating these officers, because at this point they should not be patrolling our streets and we should not be paying their salary. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Attorney Lanita Baker, y'all. Thank you so much. All right, we got Gary, got the tea and the clue today. Coming up next, 7 minutes after the hour. What you going to be talking about, Gary?
Wendy Williams is finally speaking out. I'm going to tell you what she had to say next. Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, y'all. Rickey Smiley Morning Show is 11 minutes after the hour, y'all. This segment is being brought to you by AARP. That's right. Enter for your chance to win the Black Music Month $100 giveaway on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show, sponsored by AARP. Click on the RickySmileyMorningShow.com/AARP. What up, Gary?
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, America. Good morning to you. It's Thursday, a beautiful day in the nation. neighborhood, and here's what's happening in celebrity news, y'all. Wendy Williams, talk show host Wendy Williams, is speaking out, y'all. Now, we all know Wendy's been out because, she was dealing with her illness, Graves' disease, and then, because of the COVID-19 situation. Well, now Wendy is saying, y'all, that she is ready to go back to work, honey. She said she's not about to do no more in-home shows and what have you. She said she's ready to get back in the studio. Now, they're saying that California may be going back to the studio, I think, tomorrow, but they're saying on the 19th, but they're saying that New York is still, it was one of the highest hit with the COVID disease, so they say they don't know when New York is going to go back. But Wendy says she's tired of being at home. And, a lot of us are tired of being at home. And then some of us like, honey, we ain't never ready to go back into work, though. But I'm not mad at Wendy, honey. I'm ready to get back in the studio as well. Are y'all ready to get back in the studio, or are y'all still ready to sit home? Because I know a couple of y'all ready to still sit here at home.
I'm cool at the crib.
I'm cool.
I knew that.
Cool.
I miss y'all.
I miss y'all, too, but I don't want to take no chance.
I'm paranoid.
Me
I'm a
too.
little too anxious to get back out there yet. I need these numbers to come down. And I need a little bit more certainty about what's going on before we start co-mingling.
Special K and Rock T, y'all ready to go in or what?
Now, I'm on 50-50 because I'm excited about getting back to the studio so we can kind of do our little fun stuff that we do. But I'm like Eva, man.
Now, let me tell you what I really miss. I miss Rock T and Special K sitting over there in that little chair, them two chairs in that corner. They be having something going on all morning. And I have the Special K sit to the side of my peripheral vision. It's really distracting, but it'd be funny though.
Yeah.
Rocky had about 12 ink pens, and I don't know what he be writing.
Highlighters.
Hey, man, I'm color coordinated, dog.
Why you have so many ink pens and highlighters?
Like a child, honey, that's kind of... But
anyway. Say, Gary?
Kind of what?
Child is kind of... but I ain't going to say it because I don't want nobody... I ain't saying nothing. But Rock T kind of, But anyway, child, well, I'm ready to get back to work, honey. Honey, all these clothes I done bought, honey, and invested, and I can't wear them, honey. I'm ready to wear my clothes. So y'all can stay at home, honey, and I look at y'all through the damn lens. But anyway, Wendy says she's ready to get back to work. So, Wendy, I'm with you, girl. All right, moving on. In other celebrity news, y'all, Beyonce, honey, superstar Beyonce, they're saying, y'all, that she's in advanced talks to sign an $80 million deal, y'all, with Disney for 3 major projects. Now, they're saying the singer will appear on the soundtrack of the Marvel film Black Panther 2, which is due for release next year, plus 2 other blockbuster films. Now, they're saying, y'all, that Beyonce, honey, it comes out that she just was featured on last year's remake of The Lion King. Now, source said that Beyonce has become a major player for Disney and is the perfect y'all fit for their brand. Do y'all think she's fit for Disney?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Really? Well, they said she worked on a number of projects, y'all, for them, including she was the voice of Nala, honey, in the reboot of The Lion King, and now they're keen, y'all, to secure her for 3 more projects. So congratulations to Beyonce. I mean, what you do with all that money? I mean, $80 million.
But you got to think about it. She's a parent too, and she has young kids. So, like when Angelina Jolie was Maleficent, it was so cool for her young kids to kind of see her in that space, And they don't know nothing about the music she makes, so this is really cool.
Well, congratulations. And not the Beyonce news now, I don't know why is this just coming up, but they're letting us know, too, that Beyonce is now back friends with Target. Because, Beyonce fell out with Target, the people with Target, because they didn't have her music on the show one day. Her and Miss Tina was pushing the basket down the aisle, and they say Beyonce was looking for an album, and they didn't put it on the shelf. So this she became friends with Walmart, and now, Walmart did something for her, and, they got her music out and what have you, but now Target is helping out again, so she's back friends with them. So congratulations to Beyonce.
Isn't that cool when you can be friends with people like Walmart?
Okay.
Big department store.
I mean, it must be nice, child.
I was cool with Zara, and then they died.
I was cool with Kmart.
Right.
Really?
He said Zare. Eva don't even know what Zare is.
This was in the late 70s.
Okay.
Really? Oh,
I was but a mustard seed.
What you say, Brad?
It was in the South.
It was in the 80s, too.
But it was in the South.
Bullocks.
Zare.
Z-A-R-E?
Kmart, yeah. Z-A-Y-R-E.
You remember Zara?
No, we had Kmart in Port Arthur. We had no Zara.
We had Kmart.
Yeah. Zare and Kmart was in competition with each other.
And we had Woolworths, but I don't know about.
Yeah, we had Woolworths too.
Yeah, that's when you was a kid. That's when you would go with your grandmama.
Yeah, Spiegel.
Yes, honey. All right, y'all old heads. The color today, honey, is one of my favorite colors. My color today is drab. On the high end, you say drab, and on the low end, you say beautiful, dirty brown. That's your color for today.
Dirty brown. All right, y'all give it up for Gary with the T. All right, coming up, I got your wake-up call. Y'all can call me right now. The phone lines are wide open. 866-9-RICKY, 866-9-RICKEY. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. All right. Hey, here we go. Time for the wake-up calls. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Here we go.
Wake up. It's time to get yourself together. Because he woke you up this morning, slid you in your house shoes, so it would be better. Wake up. Encourage each other and be productive. The Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Wanna know where you calling from? So come on and tell us and just wake up.
This is Christy calling from Lawrenceville, calling to wake up my husband, Corey. Good morning. Wake up.
Good morning. This is Dion. I'd like to wake up Marlene, DeMarcus, Juanita, and Jonathan. Everybody at the TXLC in Baytown. Wake up. This is Tracy telling my son CJ and my niece Charlotte to wake up. It's graduation day today in Florida. Wake up.
This is Rachel from GAP. Just wanted to say get your ass up this morning.
This is Cassandra from Houston. Shout out to all the Houston drivers. Wake up.
You listening on your radio. And my whole gang of cities tuned in, locked in. What's yours? Cause we gon' let them know. Where you at, Portland? Wake up. In Charlotte? Wake up. In Raleigh? Wake up. Wake up. Come on, Baltimore. Wake up. In Nashville? Wake up. Indianapolis? Wake up.
I appreciate it, Brett.
You welcome.
All right, coming up, man, next we got Pastor Fred, Church in 60 Seconds. You don't want to miss it. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, it is Thursday, 10 before the top of the hour. What up, John Lion?
I'm good, man. Yo, just rising up the place, man. Of course, yo, make sure you hit me up on the Instagram at JAH Lion Zone.
Hey, John, you sitting on the beach chilling, huh?
Yeah, man, I'm down in the Virgin Islands, man.
I already know. John Lion on the one. John Light on the 1 to 2, chicken and waffle mix. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, man, my pleasure, my Ricky.
There it is. Hey, lights on the way you at, man.
Hey, boy. Hey, boy, nothing but good news today, boy. Good vibe today, boy. Good vibe this morning, boy.
Black Shizzle.
Boy, I ain't got nothing but good news for y'all, boy.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Y'all boy, I got to come up lit for you, boy. I got to come up lit for you, boy. And you know you need it, shout. I know you. Boy, I know you leaking bad, boy. I know you need it, boy.
I know, they cancel all them tours, all them comedy clubs closed, boy. I've been leaving.
Boy, you ain't got no comedy club, boy. I know you ain't getting no money right now, boy. But look, I know you got a little something stacked out to the side, boy. Listen up, shout your boy. You know your boy come through for you, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Him Black Tony, now, you know I'm in the age, shout. You know, they the come up capital of the world, boy. You know, I'm always on some, boy.
Right.
Shout it, I'm finna put you on the fly. I'm finna put you on the road pedal, shout. I'm finna put you on the road pedal, flower, shout. Look, I'm finna put the whole money show on.
Okay.
All I need you to do, shout. I need you to come in with 3,500, right? So give me the 3,500, but I'm finna put you on up under me, shout. And then you gonna bring in Eva, shout, with her 3,500. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Eva gonna bring in Brad with her 3,500.
Okay.
And you know what I'm saying? Look. So y'all give me the 3,500, then and then when you bring in 2 more folks, then they bring in 3,500. Then 2 weeks from then, shout, you finna get 15,000. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You gonna get the 15 racks, but that gonna come back to you because you brought in 2 people. You know what I'm saying? Then Brett gonna bring in Gary. Then Gary gonna bring in one of his friends, right? Because they always have money. You know what I'm saying? Look, so they come in with 3,500. Then they set on. They bring the 3,500, put it on the flower. You know what I'm saying? Right. Then they set on it for 2 weeks. Then in 2 weeks, you know what I'm saying? You come back, you got 15 racks. You know what I'm saying? Then you take the 15 racks, you take 1,000 off of that, you put the 14 back on the thing. You come back, you get 28 racks. You know what I'm saying? Then Rock T, we gonna bring him in. Him and Diamond, his wife, we gonna bring them
Diamond?
in. They gonna come in.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Now, how much rock tea need to put down?
Shawty, you need to come in with 3,500. Shawty, you come in with that 3,500.
So if I drop 3,500 in 2 weeks, I can have about 15 racks.
You gonna have 15 racks, Shawty. Then you take that, then you do the flip zip on that. You know what I'm saying? Woody whoop, do the flip zip flop, bam, bing, bam. You back in there, but then you take that money, what you came up on, you take the profit money, then you throw that back in there. But 3 months, Shawty, we rich.
How much we gonna end up with in 3 months?
A whole lot of rats, then a whole lot of rats. So look, so what all y'all need to do, y'all need to cash out me 3,500 today. Everybody, shout. I'm finna send it to all y'all phone.
Can we do it next week? It have to be today.
Now y'all gotta do it now, shout. Come on, shout. I know y'all just got paid. Don't try to act.
Hold up. Let me set my Cash App up real quick.
Let me get my calculator out. So if I give you 35,
you give me 3,500, boy. I'm gonna put it on. I'm put you on the flower, shout. I'm gonna put you on the flower. You're gonna sit on there. Then
what is a flower?
That's the little thing. You know what I'm saying? That's the little thing. What we call it. You know what I'm saying? It's just a way we get money in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Then Brad gonna bring.
So you tell everybody on the radio to Cash App you 3,500.
Yeah, I need all y'all to bring 2 people. So like Brad bring in like JD and her brother D-Ray. Y'all do that. You know what I'm saying? And her sister.
Lisa, Bobby on.
When we get over here, get somewhere and sit down. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Don't think about me because I'm grown. I'm going to be with the grown folks. You go be with the kids. Understand this. When I say it's time to go, it's time to go. Don't ask can you stay the night. You cannot. Don't ask can they come back over here and stay the night. They cannot. Don't get over here acting like you hungry, like you ain't ate all day. If you do, I'm going to knock fire out of your throat. Don't touch nothing. Don't break nothing. Don't ask for nothing to drink. Don't ask for nothing to eat. Lisa Ann already think her kids is better than everybody else, and they are not. If one of them touch you, you better knock their head off their shoulder. Don't come in there tattling to me about what you think, what you want, and how you feel. When we get ready to go, I tell you how you feel. Is everybody on the same page? Don't play with me.
Don't play with me.
Is y'all ready to go? Don't. Okay. Let's go.
He said when we get ready to go, I will tell you how you feel.
Yes.
I swear. They need to put that whole thing in the Bible. It need to go right behind Revelation.
right
behind Revelation. Hey, I'm gonna play this so much when y'all memorize it. I'm gonna do a contest and I'm gonna give somebody some money who can recite that whole thing the best. That is
yes.
We need to have somebody draw that up and put that in a proclamation. That I need that whole thing framed.
Okay.
She said, what, Eva?
She said, they cannot. Do not ask if they can spend the night because they cannot.
She's trying to get all proper.
And she said, Lisa think her kids better than you.
Everybody, and they are not. One of them touch you, you knock the fire out their throat.
Gary, what you got coming up next?
Coming up next, y'all, Candy Webb, honey. Yes, Candy Webb. We're going to talk about how she wept next on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Hey, we are excited to announce that America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses stores have reopened and ready to serve you. Hey, the health and safety of patients and staff remains a top priority. Steps have been taken to ensure enhanced sanitation measures are being implemented wherever possible to provide a patient and retail experience that provides for your safety without compromising your quality of care. And we are reopening with fewer appointments and shorter hours. So please visit americasbest.com for the most up-to-date store information. So to book an appointment, call 1-800-2PAIR. That's 1-800-TWOPAIR to be connected to the store nearest you. Already have a valid prescription? Shop online for new glasses or stock up on contact lenses from the convenience of your home. And make sure you visit americasbest.com to shop today. Do not overpay for your eyeglasses. You can get 2 complete pairs of single vision glasses for, listen, wait a minute, only $69.95, including a free eye exam. All right? America's Best. In certain states, eye exams provided by independent doctors of optometry or ophthalmology. Hey, tell them Rickey Smiley sent you.
Hold it. He's half man, half woman. It's Gary. I want to hip you to the T. It's Gary, baby.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show, 6 minutes after the hour. Gary has the tea and the clue of the day. What up, Gary?
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, America. Good morning to you. It's Thursday, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And here's what's happening in celebrity news. Now, Ricky, all of us on this here show, we all have a little Christianity in us. And we all remember the verse that Jesus wept. Well, Ricky, now it's very touching, y'all, because Candy Burris wept.
Lord
Real Housewives of Atlanta star Candy Burris, y'all. She became so emotional during a recent episode of Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, while revealing y'all the conversation she had with her son, Little Ace, regarding police brutality. And here's how it went down.
So when my husband was trying to, Todd was trying to explain to him, what was going on and why everybody was so upset and what was happening with the police, Ace was confused. He was like, so the police are the bad guys? Now, isn't that crazy to have to explain that to a 4-year-old? For you to be black and have to worry about the police being the bad guys, it definitely, I know y'all say I cry all the time, but that's an emotional thing for me.
Absolutely.
And Andy, I know you care about us, but you don't have to think about that. You know what I'm saying? that's something that we have to think about.
Every day. And I'll tell you, man, it's like you're living in a nightmare, because walking to my car when I get off the air, you walking past white men and white women. You don't want to be uncomfortable. So if I go to the grocery store, a white woman is already on that aisle. I'm not going to go down that aisle, because her uncomfortable makes me uncomfortable, unless they're friendly and intentional. We'll make eye contact and or whatever. I know you can go wherever you want to go, but I don't want to be in no kind of awkward type of energy. So I'll go to another aisle and wait till she's off that aisle, and then I'll go to that aisle, or walking past white men, like when I get ready to go fishing and stuff. I'm like, do they think I'm somebody? Do they think I'm going to steal a boat, or what's going to happen? What if somebody shoot me on this dock? If somebody attack me, I need to dive in the water and go under. I got like a whole plan, Gary. Yeah. From walking from the dock to going fishing, back to the car, and a whole plan. What happens? Like I got all these plans. What if this happened, and it's scary? You take a deep breath every time you walk, especially now during this time. Every time you walk past somebody, people don't understand the terror that you feel and how scared how scary it is to just be a black man living in this country. And I know how she feels, because I got adult men, my sons, and I fear for them every single day. It's scary.
Yeah. So, Eva and Special K, y'all have a bunch of children. Do y'all talk to y'all kids and tell them about?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I talk to mine because everybody's driving age now, so I definitely have those conversations on a weekly basis.
Yeah. And I told my son, take less trips. If you don't have to go, don't go. I hate to say that, but something always happened when you went somewhere. Like now you had a car accident, Eva, and you're like, I should have just stayed at home, because this is somewhere I just didn't have to go.
Right.
Yeah. You could just get those moments back.
Yeah, I talked to them about driving at night too, unnecessarily.
Yeah, don't.
But for me, Gary, mine is a lot more like Candy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
My oldest is 6. And we live in a very integrated part of the city. So she's very confused that, when she was learning even about Martin Luther King, she said, Mom, why would the white kids not want to play with the other kids just because they're brown? Like, it was a concept that she literally cannot grasp.
Yeah.
It's so messed up. I done went and bought an old-ass funeral home limousine for $2,000. Because the police don't pull over limousines. A big, white, long, old-ass Lincoln.
A hearse.
And I drive this damn limousine around Birmingham. If you don't want to get pulled over by the police, go buy your old-ass Bush Lawn funeral home limousine or a freaking hearse. If you drive around and you go buy your hearse at the funeral home, they got some down there. Roy Peterson got some on First Avenue. Davenport and Harris got some hearses that they not using. Rent a hearse.
Oh, you want to drop them lights on?
Gary, when you was born, your daddy worked at the funeral home. You got picked you and your mama up from the hospital in a hearse.
And all my brothers went home in a hearse, honey. And I used to cry, but it was so touching. But then I thought, because it was. I mean, I didn't know. I had the emotion, but then now I look back at it, I'm like, that was grand, honey. They went home from the hospital in a hearse. So there you have it. It was grand to me, niece. The color today is drab. On the half you say driving, on the lawn say dirty brown. Yes, it was grand because it was a Cadillac here, and it was a Cadillac hearse.
Damn hearse.
That's so stupid. Mitchell, Douglas, and Fitzgerald went home in a hearse, honey.
All right, y'all, coming up next, man, we got Majority Whip James Clyburn up next, man. I'm excited about this, man. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, Eva. Boy, you finna see something in the damn hearses on 85? I ain't never seen a video, a police video on World Star where a police officer whooping a funeral director's ass. I ain't never seen it.
No, you ain't gonna see that, dog.
So if you want to, Super Dave, if you want to be safe, go get you a damn hearse. Go get the one with that long ass L on the side, them old ones.
I found a Cadillac on sale for $8,000.
You found what, Eva?
I I just found a 2005 Cadillac DeVille funeral hearse on sale for $8,000.
Okay, let's get that one. We'll get that one. See if you, Eva.
We'll all chip in on it and take turns driving it.
Right, Eva, see if you can get them down to 7,100.
Okay, I'm going to work on it right now. I'm gonna let
call them. Let's call them.
Hey, Rick, let me get the hearse today, dog. I be like,
What
Rick,
is that,
let me
Brett?
get the hearse today, dog. Let me get the hearse today. Who using the hearse today? Let me get the.
We go 1,500 a piece.
We pull up at Walmart and that damn hearse, you put all them groceries in there. You can buy so many damn groceries, man.
Do the hearse men wear a hat? Do they wear a hat when they drive?
No.
They wear gloves, though.
No, man. Put you on a Mahalia Jackson tape, a cassette tape, and you be riding around Walmart parking lot. Soon I will be done with the trouble of this world. Trouble. I'm going home to live with my God.
I see a Stageway Crown Landulette. Polo green, honey.
Polo green hearse, how much they want for it?
They don't put a price on it, though, but it's a 2017 Cadillac Ambruster.
That's going to be expensive. We need to get an older one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to call Rachel Arrington to see what she got down there, because I know she got some old hearses that she ain't using. That's my good friend that owned the funeral home. Yeah, we got Majority Whip James Clyburn coming up next. You don't want to miss it. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. All right, y'all. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. 24 minutes after the hour, y'all. The segment's being brought to you by Walgreens. Now, we all know that summer may look different this year, but Walgreens is making it easier for you to find great deals with their new ways to shop. Now, this summer, shop online, in-store, or get select essentials delivered with Postmates. See Walgreens.com for details. Walgreens. So I'm really excited today. Never had Mr. Clyburn on, one of my favorite people. And y'all don't know, man, when he say let's make it happen. And Barack Obama is a prime example of that, and Joe Biden becoming the Democratic nominee. When everybody was like, hey, whoever, he was like, no, we're going to endorse Joe Biden. I'm really excited. Done so much stuff in Congress. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to have a man on the show. He is the most senior African-American member of the House of Representatives and was recently named by Speaker Nancy Pelosi to the chair of the subcommittee on the coronavirus crisis. Y'all please give it up. Show your love for House Majority Whip James E. Clyburn.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Fred.
Hey,
Thank
Fred.
you.
Hey, man, I didn't know you. Tony, Tony Grant. Me and Tony Grant was like, you got to get James Clyburn on the show. I was like, what's up? I forgot you was an Omega man. Oh, man, I'm so excited.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sitting up in my hand.
Son is now,
Sir?
Tony's son just got into a runoff for an elected office. I say, I'm helping his son now.
Oh, yes, sir. That's right. That's right. I already sent my money.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir. I really appreciate you, man. Yesterday, I saw your interview, and let's start with that right there. Defunding the Minneapolis police, and let everybody know why you against it, and help us understand it.
Well, defunding the Minneapolis police, that's fine. The police department there, I think it's fine. I've looked at the record there. There's some problems in that police department, though. The chief seems to be a great guy. I think that we ought to be demilitarizing the police. Hank Johnson, another frat brother, has been working on that ever since he's been in Congress, getting all this military equipment out of these police departments. We need to demilitarize the police. We need to defund a lot of police departments that are rotten to the core. They are corrupt. But defund policing is a different thing. We need to reform policing. We need police in our communities to protect victims, victims of domestic violence and all kinds of stuff that happens. We need the police. So I've been saying that I know what they mean, but if you have to start explaining what you mean, you are losing the argument. And so let's not get into that. Let's not allow sloganeering and sound bites to derail a great movement brought on by this untimely, unnecessary, and I like to think this murderous event there in Minneapolis. So I'm all for doing what we need to do to reform policing, but let's not derail this movement, having Trump using that soundbite to disincentivize people who would like to be a part of the movement. So that's my problem. You know, when I was in the 60s doing sit-ins with John Lewis and everybody else, we were doing great. And all of a sudden we woke up one morning and there was a slogan out there, burn, baby, burn. It killed the movement.
Right.
And people get afraid of that sort of thing. So you should not allow sound bites to derail us. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, sir. Now, do you think there would be a bipartisan law passed in the near future, having a Republican-controlled Senate? And then the second question: that do you think in this next presidential election that we have the opportunity to flip the Senate?
Yes, we got a great opportunity to flip the Senate. And this issue, more than anything that I've seen since the 1960s. You know, I saw some Susan Rice on TV this morning saying this is the most coordinated, diverse event that I've seen in my lifetime. I said, well, Susan, you're 55 years old. If you were 75 years old, you would have seen this before. This is what we had going back in the 60s. That's how Rosa Parks won. That's how we won, snarling dogs down in Alabama and Mississippi. Those water hoses here in South Carolina. That was a diverse group of people, black and white, young and old, Catholics and Protestants, Jews and Gentiles, working together, and we got it done. And it got derailed because of people who just came in and hijacked the movement. I don't want to say anything about hijacking this movement. I think Tim Scott is going to do well in the Senate, getting something that the Senate will pass. We are going to pass this bill that Karen Bass and other members of the Congressional Black Caucus have put together, and then let the House leadership and the Senate leadership sit down and reach a compromise on whatever their bill, the Senate bill is and the House bill is. I think it's going to be bipartisan. I think we're going to win this issue, and I think it's going to be the beginning of us turning this clock back and getting rid of Donald Trump. I'm sorry, 45.
45. That's right. We're talking to Majority Whip James Clyburn. Who are you feeling on the VP pick, and have the Biden campaign hit you, call you and say, hey, what do you think? Who you think will make a good VP candidate?
Now, Fred, I'm not going to say what I feel publicly. I have made the Biden campaign aware of what my feeling is privately, but I have said, let's do the vetting, let's do the polling, and let's get the best candidate to complement this ticket going into the fall. That is where my head is on this. You know, I remember Geraldine Ferraro. I thought it was a great pick. Remondale picked the first woman the Democrats ever put on the ticket. And she was fine. But then when they started doing the vetting, they found out her husband had some serious problems. It caused us real problems with the ticket. John McCain on the other side had the same thing with Sarah Palin. She looked like a great choice. So what we want to do is put the names out there, let his committee do the vetting, and let his staff do the polling. And then when all that is done, then Joe Biden needs to sit down and put his head and his heart to work and come up with the best person to help us win come November.
So, and I have to ask you, what can we do about voter suppression? Georgia had a really bad issue on yesterday. It just made all of the news feed everywhere. Everywhere. How can we make sure that we do not run into these type of issues again in November for the presidential election?
Well, Georgia was number one, and South Carolina ran a close second. We had serious problems here in South Carolina, especially right here in Columbia, South Carolina. We have got to get our act together. And I think that we as a nation have got to shine a light on what's going on in Georgia. Stacey Abrams got that election stolen from her. Everybody knows the election was stolen.
Yeah.
Fair and square. They stole it fair and square. And we need to shine a bright light on those people down there. We need to fund the programs that we've been trying to get passed, the Congressional Black Caucus has been trying to get passed there in Washington to fund these elections, leaving all these federal elections up to state officials who are up to no good has got to come to a stop. We got the authority in Washington. We got the money in Washington. Let's go out and fund. What happened in Richland County? They did not have enough poll workers because a lot of people are afraid to work the polls because of this virus. We got to fund early voting. Got to fund voting by mail. We got to fund. I think we ought to have 30 days of voting so that we can spread out the voting. We got to spread out the living. Let's spread out the voting.
Absolutely.
Solid 30 days of voting, run up to Election Day, and then every mail ballot ought to be counted the day before the election. And then on Election Day, count the people who went to the polls so we'll know who won the election on that evening rather than waiting 2 weeks and sometimes a month to count mail ballots. Mail ballots ought to be counted before Election Day and announce the results on Election Day. That's what we need to do.
That is, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor. It is a pleasure. Somebody that I just love and admire. I cannot wait to meet you, Fred, man. And just thank you for everything that you do, Congressman Clyburn. And I have so much love and respect for you. And I don't care when I'm walking in the house because I'm always, my TV don't move off of the news. And whenever you come on, I'll turn the other TVs down and I have you on all the channels because everything you say and everything you do, it just be so real and you make things happen. You know, you're the reason Barack Obama became president of the United States. His campaign didn't pick up until he came to South Carolina. Man, I've been watching you for years. And I just absolutely love you, man. Like that, to have a frat brother.
You're so kind.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up and show your love for Majority Whip James Clyburn.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
Brother Smiley.
Yes,
Send
sir.
some money to Hamilton Grant.
Yes, sir. You know I got it. I got you. All right. Yes, sir.
Thank
All
you,
right,
guys.
y'all. No, thank you. Majority Whip James Clyburn. Y'all, more Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up. Hey, listen up, this is your boy Rickey Smiley, and if you have a low credit score, you already know that it could be keeping you from getting the things that you want, like a credit card, car, new job, even a house. And that low credit score is also causing you to pay higher interest rates than the people with better credit scores. Well, here's the good news. You don't have to keep getting denied for credit, and you can work to turn it around. It's so easy. Just call the experts at creditrepair.com. They can help you work to repair your credit and improve your credit score by removing those inaccurate and obsolete items like late payments, charge-offs, even collections and bankruptcies. The number to call for a free credit evaluation is 800-357-5844. I'll repeat that number in a bit. When you call it, you will get a free credit report and score, and you'll find out over the phone what creditrepair.com can do to help improve it. Creditrepair.com gives you solutions for a better score so you can have a better life. The evaluation, credit report, and score are free. So call them at 800-357-5844. That's 800-357-5844. Free credit reports are summary reports with TransUnion credit score. They are intended for educational purposes only, not available in all states, and not practicing in Georgia, Missouri, Ohio, and South Carolina. 15 before the top of the hour, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Jeff Johnson got 3 things you need to know coming up next. Gary, I read that commercial.
Yes, you did. All right.
Reading for that chick.
Reading is fundamental.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show, 12 minutes before the top of the hour, y'all. Jeff Johnson got 3 things you need to know. Jeff, what up? Good morning, man.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Listen, Rick, I know that you talked about this earlier this morning, but I wouldn't even be myself if I didn't say how upset I was about this report around Breonna Taylor's arrest record and the fact that these cops had the unmitigated gall to believe that nobody was going to care enough to think that not only did they barely even fill it out, but that when asked what her injuries were, they said none. And this isn't, and I know you talked to their attorney this morning, this isn't just her case, Rick. Like, if we begin to go into police reporting, there's a serious issue with how police are reporting stops, how they're reporting interactions, let alone how they're reporting incidents of lethal force. And the two things at play are, one, we unfortunately have way too many police officers that don't know how to effectively write, which speaks to an education level issue. And you know, people can come at me if you want to, but this is statistically an issue across the country, which is why they're trying to digitize a lot of these reports so that they don't have to write. So there's so much involved in that. But my hope is that we, as we begin to shift our focus in mobilizing around her case in a real way, that we recognize that the only reason you do that is because you believe you've already gotten away with something. And that is not only a legal issue, but again, speaks to the police. The second thing that I want to talk about, Rick, is your boy, Donald Trump, is just thinks we're stupid, right? Because he's re-engaging his campaign in a rally on the 19th of June in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Get the hell out of here. So number one, for those of you that don't know, Juneteenth is obviously the celebration of the last group of slaves that didn't know that we had already been freed, in states like Texas that continued to keep them enslaved even after the Emancipation Proclamation. So number one, it's on Juneteenth. Number two, it's on Juneteenth in Tulsa. And for those of you that know Black Wall Street, some of you hear Black Wall Street that you don't know that Black Wall Street was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And in 1921, not only was there a race riot that was rooted in a false claim of rape, but there was a race riot where there actually was a bomb dropped out of a plane on black businesses in a community that was arguably one of the wealthiest black communities in the country, and one that has been the model for how we should do economic development. But Rick, you know what I think the issue is? The last I heard, the city had not confirmed that this was happening. And so if you really want to do something about this, y'all please blow up the phone lines of the mayor of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and just speak to the fact that in this current moment, how disrespectful it is for on Juneteenth in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in a time that we are dealing with systemic racism and black businesses in particular, how in bad taste it would be for the city of Tulsa to say that this makes sense for the president to be in their city on that day in this time. Lastly, Rick, just want to big up LeBron James. Many of you heard that LeBron has launched a voting organization, and the name of the organization is More Than a Vote. And he's partnered with Maverick Carter, his manager. Jalen Rose is involved. Trey Young is involved. Skylar Diggins-Smith. And I think they just confirmed that Kevin Hart is also one of the initial supporters. And what's going to be different, Rick, is I think he's going to be working with existing voting organizations, right, and really dealing with the system of voting and the structural racism within it. So super excited to hear that. Bron said that because of everything that's going on, people are finally starting to listen to us. We feel like we're finally getting a foot in the door, but we feel like we're getting some ears and some attention, and this is the time for us to finally make the difference. So you all pay attention to that. I think it's going to support organizations on the ground. Big up to him and all involved, because we need as much support as we can get in moving our folks to the polls, not just for the president, but for every election. Rick, those are three things I got. Y'all can hit me at Jeff's Nation on all social media. Always appreciate the time, brother. Hope y'all have a fantastic day.
No, Jeff, we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, man. Hey, you heard I had the cues on this morning, man. James Clyburn. See, I had to bring heat this morning. Y'all alphas be trying to take over everything.
No, brother, we just lead.
Jeff Johnson, ladies and gentlemen.
Take over everything when you lead, brother. We make room for you.
Man, hang on the phone. Man, gone, bro. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Top of the hour. It's about that time. Eva's Corner. What up?
What up, Ricky? And good morning, everyone, and welcome to Eva's Corner, where I give you all the news from motherhood, womanhood, and the juiciness in between. So, Ricky, I cannot do today's Eva's Corner without dealing with what's going on in the world today. And, what are we saying to our kids? What do you say? We heard a video earlier when Gary was doing his tea about Candy trying to explain to her 4-year-old son what's going on. And, how do you explain to your little black kid why Black America is so upset? as a mother, and as fathers, as you guys are, there's certain things we want to protect our kids from, right? But there is no denial that racial tension in this country is at an all-time high right now, highlighting, the disregard and the senseless deaths of black people by the hands of the police, the blatant racism by number 45. So with all of that, I find myself a lot of times trying to figure out how to balance all these hats. I'm a professional, so I get up every morning, I do my job. But I'm also a black woman, so I do my protest and my activism. But then I'm also a parent. And so how do I make all of that work? The other day, I was pulled over, Rick, by the police this last week.
What?
For no reason. I didn't do Eva's Corner last week because I was so upset with everything going on and knowing that I was pulled over for being a black woman with seemingly hip-hop clothes on and just driving while black. I was doing nothing illegal. I was not speeding. I was doing absolutely nothing. And I was so irritated. So when I came home, I remember first I texted my husband. And the first thing he said was, don't answer anything. Do not let them search your car. All of these things that we as black people are processed and programmed to resort to when dealing with the police. And I think about, so the police pulled me over, said I was on my phone. Meanwhile, Ricky, my phone was dead. So I couldn't even have been on my phone because it was not even on. And if it was on, my phone is connected to my car. So I have no reason to have it in my hand. They ended up letting me go because he could tell I was a person that knew my rights. But I definitely tried so hard to be extremely nice, to be extremely compliant. And then as I got home, I found myself pouring out to my husband and I broke down crying and I said, why? Why do I have to work so hard to show that I am not a threat? Why do I feel threatened by them? And so I'm going on and I'm going on. And then later on that evening, I decided to try to lift my spirits. So I made a video with my daughter. And I said, Marley, let's tell everybody out there to keep up the fight, to stay in the struggle. And Marley, what do you want to say? Marley said, I want to teach the white people not to be scared of black people. Marley is 6 years old. Right. And what she has been hearing in the last 3 months is programmed in her head now to know that they are afraid of us, that they think that we are less than. And while I don't want to sugarcoat things for my daughter, I also do not want to create the hatred that they have for us in her. So I find myself trying to really find the proper words to talk to my kids and to let them know the world that we live in and the world that we deserve. And so I just want to implore the parents out there. This is not an easy conversation to have. I think it's very different when you have a 16-year-old kid versus a 6-year-old kid, and they have kids and friends of other colors, to really know what's going on. And don't sugarcoat it for them, but by the same token, be very intentional not to put hate in their heart, which is what we are trying to eradicate out of the hearts of others. That's Eva's Corner today.
There it is. I appreciate it, Eva. All right, 4 minutes after the hour, y'all. More Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up. Boy, Eva just told me something. Eva, who is that on that hook?
That's Uncle Charlie. Charlie Wilson, what they call him.
I didn't know that till today. That's Charlie Wilson. Yes, sir. Boy, let me tell you something. Boy, I love went on down to Tuskegee thinking I'm finna go to Tuskegee because I couldn't afford it. Had to go down to upstate anyway. Back in the day, man, what did that remind you of? Come on, take us back, Brett.
Come on, dog.
Woo! First, it made me think of my mom and them and the barbecues. They played this at the barbecues, too, and it made me think of Menace to Society, that one part where they showed Kane where he was in his convertible.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ricky, this is the first song I ever made a skate routine to. Me and my cousins had a whole skate routine to Computer Love.
You need to do that and put that on Instagram. Gary.
I don't even remember that song. That was
Special K.
Well, you already know it take me back.
Gary.
What it take you back to Special K?
Riding through the park, boy, in that 86 Pontiac Grand Am, boy, that white one.
Right, you know what you had?
That 86 Pontiac Grand Am.
I believe.
Is that what you had?
Yeah.
What kind of radio you had up in there?
I had that AM/FM cassette with the little equalizer attached to it that hung down up under the glove box. Boy, I had those speakers in the back.
Take me back, Rod T.
Oh, man, sitting in the back of my homie's old school Suburban. First kiss with a high school girlfriend. Boy, you couldn't tell me nothing. This song was actually playing. I thought I was doing something.
This song was playing when you first kissed your girlfriend?
First kiss, for high school girlfriend. This song was playing, and we sitting in the back row of that old school Suburban. Yes, sir.
Was that breath on point?
Yeah, that one right there, the breath was on point. You talking about the one at the movie theater?
I ain't talking about the girl you took to the movies. You came in there
that was hot.
Came to the radio station throwing up the next morning. So you couldn't even enjoy your popcorn. Yeah, you can kiss back in high school because they breath smell like, Skittles, Now Laters, Boston Baked Beans, Lemon Head, Jolly Ranchers. That's when girls used to eat real candy back then, so their breath was always pretty. Hood chicks' breath never bad. They always eating candy.
Long.
Yeah. How long you kiss back then?
You be kissing for about 19 minutes. Boy, you be kissing. Just tonguing, just kissing. Hard and long. Moving your head around in circles.
Yes, that was the way to do it. Yes, that's making out. Did something. Yes. We kissed for a long time.
Don't nobody kiss like that no more.
Man.
How they kiss now, especially
a peck? You get a peck and go on about your business?
So you said back in the day when you kissed, you be moving your head around?
Yeah, you move your head around in that circle. You grabbing the booty cheeks in one hand, boy.
Okay. You be on the couch. You be on the couch. Y'all be clothes burning. Okay. Make love with fully clothed. Okay.
Fully clothed. Ain't nothing even zipped down. You just burning denim. Just burning denim. Got all kind of ridges in your pelvis. You done chafed your hips.
You know what, Kay?
You done chafed up your thighs because you been grinding so hard. Put your drawers in the laundry.
Man, go on, man. Get out. Man, turn it back. Man, get out the radio, bro. Go on, man.
Yeah, I'm clock out.
Man, go on, man. It's more Rickey Smiley Morning Show. All right, y'all. These days, you got to do whatever you got to do to save money. And one of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. So if you own a car, truck, or SUV made from 1999 or higher, you could stop paying for car repairs. You really could. That's right. You might not have to pay a penny to have it repaired. Just dial ** car on your mobile phone now to see if you qualify. You must have an automobile made from 1999 or higher, and all repairs for your engine, transmission, and much more can become a thing of the past. Dial ** car on your mobile phone and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Plus, free roadside assistance, free towing, free car rental, and free oil changes. Dial ** car on your mobile phone now to see if your car qualifies. That's ** car. Never pay for car repairs again. Just dial ** car on your mobile phone now. Restrictions may apply. Plans and costs for coverage may vary. Call Protect My Car for details.
News headlines, entertainment, sports. It's the front page on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Listen, this segment is being brought to you by Delta Research and Education Foundation. Listen, your family traditions, culture, and stories are your legacy. So is your health history. Through research, your legacy can help build a better future. So to learn more, go to joinallofus.org. That's allofus.org /DREF. Allofus.org /DREF. What up, Eva?
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. I'm your girl, Eva Marcel, here with your top news stories.
It's Thick Thursdays.
It's Thick Thursdays.
Yeah, put it
all
on
right
Instagram.
now.
Let me see it. Thick Thursdays.
That didn't sound
George
creepy, though.
Floyd's brother, Special K, testified before Congress yesterday, urging them to pass the Justice in Policing Act, which would limit legal protection for police, which would ban the use of chokeholds and create a national database on incidents of excessive force. Meanwhile, President Trump is reportedly working on an executive order on police reform too, but the details are very unclear. He also announced that he will start his MAGA rallies on June 19th, which we all know is Juneteenth, a great holiday, a day commemorating the end of slavery in the U.S. Meanwhile, 3 months after Breonna Taylor was shot and killed by the police in Louisville, Kentucky, the incident report has now come out. It is nearly blank, and much of the info in it is very incorrect. Also, the number of coronavirus cases in the country has passed 2 million. Infections are going up, especially in the southern and western parts of the country, but cases in the Northeast and Midwest are actually down more than 50%. Also, rumor has it that Republicans will move their national convention this summer from Charlotte to Jacksonville, Florida. Trump, who is in Dallas today, is expected to make that announcement very soon. And last but certainly not least, Miss Nancy Pelosi. She's getting a lot of pushback right now from the Democrats who have she's urged that they do not push Joe Biden out, saying that African-American running mate is not required. She says she thinks that Joe Biden should pick whoever he wants as his running mate and not specifically an African-American woman. So to keep up with that story and all the other ones that I covered, please log on to the Rickey Smiley morningshow.com. Rock Teasy, what's poppin' in sports?
Let's start off with San Francisco 49er Richard Sherman. He rips Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones for his silence on the Black Lives Matter movement. And I might have to agree with Richard, man. I agree. Jerry Jones is the most powerful owner in the NFL, and his silence speaks volumes. So I don't know why, all of his players are speaking out, but he, as the owner of this franchise, has not said anything yet. In the meantime, CrossFit CEO Greg Glassman resigns and steps down as CEO, resulting from his George Floyd comments that he made to his staff during a Zoom call the other day. He reportedly bashed Black Lives Matter. He said, "We are not mourning George Floyd." So, of course, he got a lot of...
Jesus. Stop it.
Jesus.
Hello. What's wrong? What's wrong here?
As soon as we get to hear the good stories, they just go back.
As soon as
they just blink out.
Gary.
They like, we don't want just to come out of Rock Team out to help the people.
Dangling.
Look, Gary.
I'm waiting here listening for that good part, and it just goes to silence. This will not come out of Rock Team's mouth.
How often does this happen, Gary?
It happens every single day. I'm like, is it like the ghost of somebody that's coming to Rock Team's mic? He can't come out.
So, Gary, are you tired? Are you tired of this?
I am tired. I'm fed up. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you get in your comfortable space and say, "Oh, I want to hear what you got to say."
Yes, it was getting good.
It was getting good.
And Gary,
I got a confession, though.
Yeah.
Somebody hit me up on social media saying, "Rock, I'll be listening to your sports just to see if you're going to cut off this time."
Well, they need to stop listening then because we're trying to hear it.
They ain't even listening to the sport. They wait to see if I'm going to get cut off.
Well, you don't get cut off. It just goes off. It's just like, girl, not right now, honey. Right now, girl.
Gary.
What is that?
Huh?
How often does this happen?
Baby, every single day is like, honey, same bad time, same bad channel. It just goes off. It's like, girl, it's like a whisper.
So, Gary, what's going on with this internet, Gary? Who is his internet? Who is his internet? Who is
Jerry Jones? Somebody. It's a ghost whisper.
Gary, so it bothers you, Gary?
It bothers me because damn it, I done cocked up on the couch and laying to listen to it, and then it just goes on. Yes, I get on my side and listen.
And Gary, you don't even watch. You don't even watch sports. You
don't even watch sports. Don't care. I could care less about sports, but it's just I was like, well, I'm going to give Rock T some airtime and listen, and then he just goes away. It's like a whisperer.
And do you talk to your counselor about this, Gary?
I tell my counselor, I was like, listen, counselor, honey, now you know, girl, I'm not into sports, honey. That's not my thing. But there's a sports report on by the name of Rod T on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show. He does the sports. But like, and every time he gets to his main story, it just goes away. It's just like a
fart. It disappeared like a fart in the wind.
Yes, like it disappeared like a fart in the wind. So I'm like, so what should I do?
Yeah.
What do you do about this?
So, Gary, when Rock T do sports, just walk away, Gary.
Just walk away, babe. I'm gonna do like John Warren said, baby. Walk on by.
Yeah. We're gonna play. Hey, get that song. Super Dave, put that song out. Put that song on. Walk on by. That's my thing. Simple. Put that song by. Walk on by. Every time Rock T might go off, play that song. Yeah. Play that right there for Rock T. Rock T, we gonna fix your internet, and we don't know if did they pay the bill, Gary?
They didn't pay the bill. They must give him about $10 worth, because hell, about $11
he got prepaid Wi-Fi.
He got prepaid stuff, honey.
Maybe I need to upgrade my package.
That was his check, baby. That was his check.
That's all I can afford.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
You can catch me at the hot spot. It's the BR18.
All right, mic check. Brad, are you there? Brad? Are you there?
I am here.
You said what? All right, this segment is brought to you by My Computer Career. That's right, man. If you don't absolutely love what you do, go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today and become an information technology professional in as little as 4 months. That's mycomputercareer.edu. How was that, Gary?
That was great, honey. I mean, at least you wasn't a vapor. But anyway.
Go ahead.
Good morning, everybody. Brett said it's the spot.
Oh no!
I'm just playing.
Oh, I'm gonna say, wait a minute now.
That's good money on that end.
Movies and more. Oh, Gary, you ain't right. All right, let's get into this thing right quick, y'all. Netflix launches a new Black Lives Matter collection of films, TV shows, and documentaries to help people better understand the experiences of Black Americans. The titles plural include Spike Lee's The Five Bloods, out Friday, Ava DuVernay's 13th, and When They See Us, Mudbound, Orange is the New Black, Dear White People, and Barry Jenkins' Moonlight, among others. Netflix announced a decision on Netflix, writing, when we say Black Lives Matter, we also mean Black storytellers matter, with an understanding that our commitment is true. Systemic change will take time, and we're starting by highlighting powerful and complex narratives about the Black experience. The collection is accessible now. That is what's up. I can appreciate that. All right, moving on, y'all. Russell Simmons addressed some of the things that were said about him in these allegations of this documentary on the record. He said, I am guilty of having underwritten, supported, made soundtracks for, taken advantage of, and lived in a grossly unjust society. I made the movie How to Be a Player. Bill Bellamy played me, so I know what I'm guilty of. I've been unconscious as a playboy, so today the title is appropriate. Womanizer. I'm guilty of that. And back then, I thought it was game. There were no Black actresses that I didn't date, but they're my friends today. I went out every night and looked for new girls to date, but they're my friends today, and they don't have the experience that the movie makes me to be. He said, I could never say that someone doesn't feel victimized. These stories are like 20 to 30 years old. He said, I can say that I don't feel that I victimized them. How can I say that? I took 3 9-hour lie detector tests, he said. So I feel like he's not guilty on this one. He is not going for it. He's not taking it at all.
Russell Simmons?
Yeah, Russell Simmons. Yeah. He took 3 9-hour lie detector tests. That's a long time to sit there. Anyway, y'all, to get caught up on those stories and more, you can go to RickeySmileyMorningShow.com. I'm your girl, Brett Tat. Coming up next, we got Chef Jannard Wells, and we got that praise mix down. The time now is 25 minutes before the top of the hour. We late. Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, y'all give it up and show your love for the one and only man with your quarantine milling. Y'all give it up for Chef Kurt Boudreaux.
What's up, people? How y'all doing this morning?
Man, pimping ain't dead. I know you got some bread. That rhyme, did it, Roger?
Yes, sir. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Hey, what you cooking today, Kurt?
Oh, man, I got some brisket street tacos, man.
Rod, did you hear that, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, dog. I like
Eva, are y'all going to try this today?
Now you know I know a taco.
But brisket, though.
Street taco.
I don't know a
That's
brisket
different.
taco. Talk about it.
This dude up here making food blunts.
Hey, man, it's simple because most of the stuff I bought because I can make it, but I'm trying to make it as simple as possible, man, for people to do. So what I did was just heat the taco shell. I already had the brisket. Add your cheese. I had a little guacamole, pico de gallo, a little salsa verde. Add that on there, man. And what I made was a barbecue aioli with some barbecue sauce, little mayo. Shake it up, squeeze it on top of that thing, boy.
What?
Go on, do your thing, boy. Eat that thing up.
Yes, sir. There you go.
All right, Boudreaux, how can we find this recipe, man?
Man, you can find this recipe on Rickey Smiley Official, and you can follow me on Facebook at Boudreaux's Catering, and on Instagram, Chef_Boudreaux1.
Come on.
There it is, man. Hey, man, we proud of you, man. You be cooking your ass off, man. Quarantine cooking with Chef Kurt Boudreaux. Hey, appreciate you, little bro.
All right, baby, big bro.
There it is, Rickey Smiley Morning Show.